So I'm Joe Beda. I'm a principal engineer at VMware now, and about 5 years ago, along with Craig McLucky and Brendan Burns, I started the Kubernetes project. After I left Google, I was exploring a bunch of different things and ended up starting this project called SPIFFE, which stands for Secure Production Identity Framework for Everyone. I named it that because I was able to get the domain, because that's how these things work. And the goal there was to really fill in some of the gaps, some of the things that we left out when we did Kubernetes based on the experiences with Core. We knew that, when you look at sort of Google's production infrastructure, there were a whole bunch of pieces that sort of added up to make the magic. Kubernetes was one of those pieces based on Borg. There's a bunch of storage systems, but one of the key critical things that was missing was this idea of identity, the idea of having services being able to call into each other, across from one to the other, and easily be able to trust each other. And so SPIFFE was an effort to try and create that experience, but in a way that reused as much technology as possible from the outside world, and also something that was going to be federatable and sort of work in sort of real world enterprise environments.
Why do you think it's so foundational for the cloud native experience?
So I think SPIFFE is foundational for cloud native because as we move towards a world of microservices, you end up having lots of things calling other things. And one of the things that, traditionally what we've done to deal with that is microsegmentation, really sort of use firewall rules at a low level to be able to actually isolate workloads from one another. But in this new world, as we move towards more and more microservices, not only do we have dynamic systems where it's much harder to isolate at the network level, but we also have systems that are going to be more interconnected, where we're going to find that one service can have a lot of things calling in, or it'll be calling to a lot of other things. And so you don't want to isolate at the network level because you do want to create connectivity, but you want to create connectivity in a secure, responsible way. And that's really where identity and SPIFFE comes into the picture.
How far has SPIFFE inspired coming on? Are you expecting the same thing?
So it's been a while since we started SPIFFE, and it's really been great to see the community that's forming around it. It's really come quite a long way in the past 3 or 4 years since I started it as a sort of a design doc, a paper to try and get people interested in these ideas. And so over those last 3 and 4 years, it's been great to see Scytale step up to really help bring these ideas to fruition and really be good stewards of a community for both SPIFFE and Spire, the reference implementation of SPIFFE, so that we can really start to see forward-looking enterprises adopt it. Now, as a security critical piece of infrastructure, it takes a while for this stuff to happen, and I think we're really starting to see, as this stuff moves in production, we're really starting to see it take off, and we're going to hit that critical mass in terms of more and more folks using it and really getting the value out of the ideas and the interoperability that's delivered by SPIFFE, Spire, and the folks at Scytale.